Uh-oh. Live stream. Oh, let's see here. What do I want to do? No, I don't want to do that. I want to view on YouTube. That's what I want to do. No, I don't want to do that. I want to view on YouTube. That's what I want to do. No, I don't want to do that. I want to view on YouTube. That's what I want to do. All right, there's the chat. Yo, Ajwa Khan. Well, that's a cool name, Ajwa. All right. Hey, man, how's it going? Oh, maybe give me a quick mic check. I think we are better now. I had a little issue last couple of weeks. I have 3 mics plugged into this machine. I think it was going back and forth, but I have to reset it every time. Oh, let's see. Wait a second now. What's up? My first one is... Oh, what do I got here? My first one is... Where'd it go? ZIM. Julius plays games. ETF day. What a clusterfuck that was. So much. I mean, interesting, right? Interesting to see how the market reacted, right? Initially and then immediately thereafter. And now we're in... I don't know what to say about that. I think we're going to... My view is let's let that settle a little bit. We shall see. Can we get it around 4? All right, let's see here. How we doing? Okay, they're just now 30. Let's try and get... Oh, I try and get 20 people on before we start. Ajwa. I like that name, Ajwa. Julius plays games. Got a good lineup. Took a little nudging, but I got you got a good mix here. It's less crypto than I thought we would get. Oh, there's down at the bottom. I got some crypto. All right. So I got a couple of from last week here. We're going to start with one traditional and then ETH to Bitcoin, which is kind of interesting as well. So I'll give another minute or two. We'll get it started. I've got 2 little stragglers in the ES I'm trying to get out here. Oh, there's Wonka. Man, I got some of my team. I got guys in. We got some guys are in the Cayman Islands. That's James M. Then I think Wonka. I think he's somewhere sexy. It looks like he's up in the mountains, like he's skiing somewhere. These guys dial in, even though they're taking a break. Pretty amazing. All right, let's give another 1 minute. We'll get her started. It's kind of a small group here to start, so we won't fuss for too long here. And then Doge. Okay, so I got everybody set. I gotta find Doge. Where did I put that? There it is. Okay, so I got all 3 of them right here. Beautiful. All right, guys. Let's see here. Are we good? We're live. We're good. Yeah. One last throat clear. Okay, what do I need to do here? Am I live? Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. Okay, all right. So, hi guys. So I've taken to a little intro, howdy, and then get myself off of here. I don't know why people insist on doing it. They like the screen time. I don't know why they do it, right? It's just, it takes up screen real estate. So howdy. Hi, guys. All right, let's get rid of me. Let's get me off of there. Okay. All right, now we can focus on the chart. Okay, so this is first up. This is, who is this? This is Never Give Back. It's a good handle. Never Give Back. Oh, I should show you his. This is what he sent me. This is his post, right? So, so he's got kind of a guppy. It looks like a guppy range here. That's kind of interesting, right? So instead of a bunch of lines here, he's just got a kind of a ribbon of it. This popular, right? People like. I mean, there's you flip that over. You've said something. The market's done something. So I mean, a pretty drop dead, simple count. What's interesting is that he likes it for the short, which of course obviously very counter trend. So there's reasons for it, right? I mean, when you're going counter trend like that, you got to be realistic about what your targets are, right? So okay, right? If you're going to get a full 3-wave correction here, you might. I mean, his target is not unreasonable at all, but it's counter trend, right? So you got to, going into it, you got to be selective about your entry, and then of course stop management critical. So let me shit, I just had it. Hang on. I just had this here. Holy shit, what do I do with it? You had it right here. Oh, son of a bitch, guys. Hang on a second. I just had this. Oh, I don't want that. God damn it. There it is. ZIM. Okay, here we go. All right, so knew I had this. All right, so all I did was just take what he gave me. I think he gave me a daily here. I just broke it down here so we could look at the subdivision. I mean, clearly we have an impulse, right? I mean, they don't lay out much better than that. I mean, that's about as good as you could hope for. I mean, it's drop dead perfect, right? I mean, look at the channeling. So you look at it and you go, okay, well, if I was going to play this short, this would be the obvious, right? We've got the 50 and the POC are on top of each other here, right? So you've got a nice target down here. So, maybe you've got to start on it. It's something down into this range here. You got it's a little pivot here. I do have. I should probably take that off first here. I've got a little market structure on here, which we can return to in a sec. Well, that's the play. It looks like you've come into the, well, you got to be careful, right? So a fair value gap in equities, you got to be mindful of the opening gap. Excuse me. So it's not rocket science here. I'd probably just do this. Okay, we're a little double here at the 50. It doesn't look like we have a clean fifth here. So maybe you're getting a flat of some sort. It's not ideal. Even if I go to a 30, it's a little bit of a force fit. You don't quite have a zigzag. 1, 2. Can you squeeze it in there? It's a little bit of a squeeze. Up to the 50, right? So your assumption would be here that we're doing this. Maybe there's another little kick here, but you could be in it right now. I mean, if you wanted, being realistic about the target here, right? Again, we're counter trend. So if you wanted to take that short, you do it, do the underlying, you do options. You've got some flexibility here. I wouldn't give that a whole lot of room, right? Because you're counter trend, right? So you don't really have a good breakdown here. So what are you really doing here? You're kind of stuck in this range here between this and this. There's a little bit of no man's land there. So of course the ideal spot, right? Now it's always easy in hindsight, right? You sell it up here on the test of this as we're wrestling with this fair value gap. Now it's a fair value gap, but this looks like, that's just the opening gap. It's a little tricky, right, with equities. So here we've got a fair value gap here as well. This is that's a true double. Well, okay, so if you were looking at this fresh and you're like, oh, yeah, I like the idea of shorting this for whatever reason. Let's get that on there. Well, do you want to short it now? Well, here, let's simple stuff, right? Okay, let's take the range. Get this up here a little bit. Where are we now? If we're just assuming we've got this is a range, we're now in the discount. So your ideal scenario here would be, okay, this is starting. I want to wait for a retrace here before I can get something like this to kick. So maybe indeed you're going to get some sort of a flat. It's not clean Elliott, but it's okay. Does it have to be? No, doesn't. That's a pretty good tell here that we couldn't push up here and sweep this, fill that gap. But right now you'd be selling in the discount, right? So you'd want to wait for a little bit of a pullback if you're just looking at this for the first time. Now this is Never Give Back. He may have already been in this, right? Because he posted this a week ago. So he may have taken this, right? And if he did, good for him, right? That's aggressive. But I mean, even if you went here, okay, well, where's your stop, right? Probably over the 618 or the golden zone. So he'd still be in. Probably got a little scare there, and that's a pretty big candle coming back. But those are the trades you want when you're nervous about it, right? If it looks, you've heard me say this a gazillion times. If it looks like easy money, you can almost be assured it's not going to. There is no easy money, right? So as soon as it looks like easy money, you got to kind of catch yourself and go, wait a second. If it looks this obvious and easy to me, what's the rest of the market thinking? Probably the same, right? We know, the majority of the market is wrong all the time. So, you want to be kind of mindful. Okay, if it looks too easy, it probably is. So this requires a little discipline if you're not in yet, right? So you're gonna have to wait for that. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. You don't do what you want, right? I'm just saying if you're trying to trade this strategically, okay, well, let's get into the premium. Let's be mindful of the risk reward here. Oh shit, let's get my. Oh fuck, I lose these things every now and then. Okay, if you're doing this, I'd probably now, right? Since we've already had the double here, I wouldn't see. I always look at it and I think, okay, what if I get stopped out here? Is that going to hurt me? Oh shit! Nobody likes to get stopped out, but it's not gonna blow me up. Shit. No, I can't take that call. I'm sorry. Thought maybe last week I had one of my guys call me when the mic was wrong. 1, 2. I wouldn't. See if it goes higher, if it kicks up a little higher and we end up here, I'd rather take the trade again the second time, rather than do this and go, oh, well, I better give it some more room. Oh, well, golden zone. Okay, well, maybe it'll go 786, right? Oh, I better give it a little more room. Well, okay, I better give it over to the pivot. Now, what started out as a nice little, maybe a 3-to-1, all of a sudden you're at, less than 1-to-1. That's the focal point, right? So you guys, I say the same thing so often, right? I always feel like, oh, Jesus, have I said this enough? Right? But it's the repetition, and then we have a lot of new people here. It's always, first question is, okay, let's assume I'm wrong. What's the impact? How much am I willing to risk here, right? I like this setup here. It's great. Okay, well, I've analyzed here. It's all good. Look, I've got a complete impulse. I want to try and trade into the short for the second. Okay, I know I'm going counter trend. So if I'm wrong, how enthusiastically do I want to be shorting this? How much am I willing to risk? Right, every trade, you really want to think of it that way. So what can we do to increase our probability and get better risk reward? Well, let's start with selling in the discount, right, of the current range. Now you could look at that and you could say, well, wait a minute, if I've got a completed impulse here, wouldn't I be selling in the premium up here if I'm selling? Well, yeah, you would, right? As would relate to this entire shit here. Right? Are we not selling in the discount? Or excuse me, pardon me. Get that wrong all the time. Are we not selling in the premium here? Yeah, we are. Targeting the discount. It's just a question of how you're looking at that. Does that look? If you're not in yet, I'd wait for it. Now, if it comes, so you say, well, wait a minute. What if I miss it? What if this is 1, 2, and this is going to go here? Well, okay. Well, what are we anticipating? If this ABC, okay. Well, let's say you missed it. Where's the bigger money likely to be found here? Wouldn't you anticipate that with a perfect impulse, if we do 3 here, let's say you missed the short, BFD, right? Oh, I'm gonna miss that one. Okay, so be it, right? So what are you really looking for? You're looking for the 2 here. to go, because where's the big money? If it's going to play, right? If we're going to have a realized Elliott count, where's the bigger money going to be made? So I wouldn't sweat, trying to get your counter trend. Oh, I missed it, or I was waiting. Right? I'd want that to set up just perfectly, because really, this is what you're after, is the long, given that perfect impulse. Be my view. But a good one to post there. Never give back. Good work there. Oh shit, I don't have your guppy. Oh, there's a lot of guppies on there. Now, of course, with a guppy, right, they're very slow to roll over. It's almost like I could put Vegas Wave on here. It's the same kind of idea. They're going to be slow to roll over. But that's good TA, right? I mean, first, just that he spotted that just spectacular. How did fuck ZIM integrated shipping? I've never looked at it before. Do I need to? Does it matter? Do I need to see their balance sheet? Not really. Good one, never give back. Okay, so now I got my Frogger. My Frogger, I haven't seen you. Well, I guess you've been the last couple of weeks. I got a few returning champions here. My Frogger, I don't think he left town, but I haven't seen him a lot recently. So this one he asked for. He said, okay, I'm looking for, this is what he said here. Can ETH Bitcoin weekly? I'm on the 3-day here. I'm going to get to the weekly. It's been a channel for almost 3 years. Well, he's right, and it has. Well, I guess with the function of how you're going to define the, oh shit, yeah, here we go. How you're going to define that channel. Oh, I've got this. This is one, I like these guys here. This product, Stratify, it's free, right? For those of you that, wouldn't mind a little, use the computer a little bit to help you with the SMC. Okay, so here, all right, we've been in a channel. Have we been in a channel? I guess, perhaps this impulse. One of the this is a little bit of a bummer. It sure looks like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I can get 5 into a 1, A, B, C into a 2. It looks good. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. I think we can all agree here. This would be 20 out of 20 eliticians are going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, you might get some differing opinions up here. 1, 2, 3. That's sure ABC into a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now do I want a leading diag there? No. I prefer to have ending, but okay, so there it is, right? It's 5 swings, right? And it's clearly these are 3s. What would your alternative be that you're going to try and put, try and connect these two? 1, 2, and this is technical, right? This is right out of the golden zone. Right, I mean, duh, right, of course. All right, okay, so golden zone, shoots, second target. Okay, so I got a 1, 2, 3, sure looks like a 4, into a 5. Well, where's the problem, right, is that I get a truncation over here, which is, I've looked at this. I don't see an alternate here that I would like enough to not put the 5 here. Now, I know truncation's a dirty word, right, to eliticians, but that's... It seems to be what we're stuck with here. So that's why I was on the 3-day. Oh, where'd you go? Looking to see, does this break down any better if I, add a little subdivision here? Is it any better? It still looks like that's a 5 to come up here, and we're just going to fail to get a new high here. It's not that it doesn't happen. It's just it's kind of last resort. You want to go there as a last resort. Is there nothing else that looks like an alternate that would play better? I just don't see it, right? See, if this is 1, 2, you're going to finish it here, truncation. Finish it here. So how would you get your impulse to finish? You couldn't. 1, 2, can't do it. So you're kind of stuck with that, which is okay, right? So that if that's the case, so what he's asking for is a long-term entry. Well, okay, this is, I'd pull it from right here, right? I'd kind of split the difference. I'd use the highest close as we come down here. All right, I've already swept this low here. Looks like, right, that's already been swept. This is just a long, drawn out. You'd hate to do it this way, but you might be stuck with it. When I say that, I mean, we might have a triangle there. A, B, C, A, B, C, D, E into a B, triangle B. Looks like that might work. A, B. 1, 2, 3. you know, I mean, the attraction here to a possible entry is because you've swept that low. You know, for a long term. So, my Frogger, I might just do it this way, right? So since you're thinking longer term, right? I think what he said for next 2 to 10 years, anywhere in here, right? You could just layer it. This shit. Oh, here we can do it like this, right? You just say, okay, well, I'm going to buy a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and if it keeps rolling over here, now think about what that means, right? If ETH is rolling over here, and that means Bitcoin is surging and ETH is not, right? So it's, you know, who's got a higher percentage return? Now, there's some people telling you that ETH is going to outperform Bitcoin in terms of percentage return. That's a high class problem if that's what's happening, right? I think most of us are likely long both. So a bit of a high class problem. But so if I'm looking at this over with that time horizon, you know, anywhere in here, right? Buy a little, buy a little, buy a little more, buy a little bit more. If I come golden zone, okay, am I sad about it? Well, you know, you're in drawdown, but I'm thinking about this over the next 2 to 10 years. Yeah, I'd have no problem. No stop. I would not trade that with it. Well, of course, no leverage. 2 to 10 years, just average it down. Well, you might look at it this way. All of this is unmitigated, right? So you can look at this here and say, this hasn't been tapped at all. Maybe you've got this whole zone down here. That's what I'd anticipate. We're coming out of here. If we come that low, all right, oops. This is a high class problem. That will set you up. That will be a nice return on that trade. And what would the assumption be? 1, 2, 3. We're not done. That's just the 3, 4, 5. There'd be more to go. So good one, my Frogger. Right? And I like, you know, most of what I do here is always longer term, right? I mean, I day trade every day over in the traditional markets here, but that's a whole different animal. What we're doing over here is trying to get positioned for something you could hold for 2 years, 3 years, right? I mean, is there anybody who think? Well, there probably is, right? I mean, I would guess the percentage of people who are anticipating Bitcoin's price to be lower today than it will be in 3 to 5 years. I'd like to hear your argument for that. I think you'll be sadly disappointed if that's your position, but maybe it is, right? I mean, it takes 2 to make a market, right? If it's just everybody's buying Bitcoin because it's going to be higher, right? Somebody's got to be on the other side of that. Somebody disagrees. All right, so that's ETH to Bitcoin. I like that one, my Frogger. I think that's a great call. Okay, so then I've got Momili. Momili wants to look at Doge, which now I'm not a huge Doge try. You know, you got to understand what you're trading here, right? It's arguable as to whether or not there's a use case here. As a trader, you can make the argument that who cares, right? If it's moving, I can make money. Well, if it's moving, you can lose money too, right? I mean, so I don't touch meme coins personally. I just don't. But that's me, right? That doesn't mean you shouldn't. It just means I don't have time to manage it. I don't trade anything in crypto that I can't see a use case of, and I don't see any use case. Again, that's just me, right? So don't. If you do, have at it, right? So if you're looking at this technically, do we have a good 1, 2? No. Even at the most optimistic 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe you're going to swing some sort of fucked up diag out of that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, the whole, it's not clean Elliott, but it is technical. Look how the market structure is, how it's playing with market structure, right? So a lot of people are trading in here. Obvious, right? Well, where's the supply? Note, we did get our, again, it's just, right? This is why you do these, right? Now, I know people say, oh, well, yeah, great, hindsight. Well, yeah, I do that. So the next time you see that a corner like that, you'll say, hey, well, maybe I got a target here. Well, there's your 80% realized. Right? It literally goes right to it to the tick. I mean, again, I've shown that so many times, right? And now we go back through here. We don't make it. We don't make it to the other parallel. We're coming back to this parallel, right? So trading principle number 3, if we're not going to pivot right on it, right, it'll often hover around that median line, right? Because algos are thick there, and then we'll come back down here. Now we're on the outside edge. So if you were looking here for a play on Doge, is this me? I think that is me. If you're looking for a play on Doge, okay. Higher high, higher low, right? We got a nice little swing structure here. You don't have a good Elliott count, 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now, your best case is if you're going to put your Elliott hat on, some sort of a diag is going to get us out of here. That's the assumption. Right? Otherwise, well, okay, what would be the alternative? You're going to sell it? Well, we're sitting right here at the, am I log? Yeah, I am. I think we had to be in log. So you're sitting right here at the halfway point, right? Equilibrium, right? Another way to think of it. So you're sitting right at equilibrium. You're going to sell that? Well, yeah. I wouldn't. Kind of looks like the same thing. It looks like A, B, some sloppy B here, and we're putting in the C. Oh, it's an 8 hour. Let's go down here. I mean, this is you know, you gotta know what you're getting into, right? All these wicks, right? This is how you get. It's easy to not have a good time in here, right? You've got to give it lots of room. You've got to be thinking longer term. This is not great for day trading because it's so erratic, right? There's so much volatility, so much this wick structure, right? It kind of distorts your counts. Would I trade that? No, I wouldn't. Yeah, let's go to 1 hour, see if there's anything there. I don't trade this coin, but I don't want to shit on it just because somebody else is doing great with it. And you know, who cares? Whether I mean, I just don't. But can we analyze it as technicians? Yeah. This low has already been swept, so this is sitting down here. It's vulnerable. So your best case here would be, okay, well, it's like a, you know, it's like a red flag to a bull or to a bear in this case, right? So to leave that hanging down here, what you're hoping for is they can't get it, right? Because that's just obvious liquidity. Okay, so if we hold here and now we start to come out of here, okay, well, great, right? So you could take this trade. If I gun to my head, somebody said you have to take it, I might do something like this. I do not, if they're going to sweep that, I'd rather take the stop and then if we're coming lower, I'll go golden zone. But again, I don't do this. I can just tell you, right? Don't change your stop. That's essentially what I'm saying here. Don't move your stop. It's just very rarely does something good from that. And if you, as you've heard me say again 1,000 times, if you get away with it, that's almost worse because then you'll be tempted. You'll do it again the next time. And one of these times, right, it's going to hurt you. Right, and I'm always trying to keep you defensive in your thinking. Right, it's easy now. Oh fuck, we got ETFs coming, cryptos. This is the year. Bang, we're gonna fucking kill it this year. You got to be careful about letting your greed glands get the better of you. You always have to think defensively. Okay, what if I'm wrong? Where would I be wrong? Right, where can I look at this and say, now is that a good launch here? Is it right? You don't need me to tell you that. Is that a good looking launch? That's a clusterfuck. Why would you even want to trade that? There's nothing real. Okay, so I've got lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Right. Okay. Oh, maybe I got no. That's just all wick. So I don't really have a good launching point here. I'd much rather let this thing come out of here. Something big come out of here. Right. Show me that you're serious. That bulls want this. Right. We want this to go. I'd much rather take it here. That's just me, right? Again, I'm defensive as fuck, right? I've lost too much money being a cowboy, right? I'm defensive always. My thinking is, okay, can they hurt me here? They, right? They could be just, you know, the other side of the trade, right? Or just traders or algos, right? Ultimately, it's algos, right? Can they hurt me here? Well, if I do something like that, yeah, that's going to hurt. If I do this, they're not going to hurt me. You can hit me. You can hit me again. You can hit me again. You're not gonna knock me out. If I do this, I'm in trouble now. I think defensively. This is a little bit of a, you know, that's a maybe it'll go. Again, you'll have better odds in Vegas, right? Free drinks, pretty girl will bring them to you. Okay, that's Doge, Momali, right? I don't want to shit on your, if you're excited about Dogecoin, I don't want to throw water on that. Maybe I'll say it that way, a little more cleanly. I don't want you to not take the trade if you want it. I'm just giving you some other things to think about. Don't feel like, oh shit, if I don't get it right here, fuck, I'm going to miss the whole thing. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, right? If you want this, let it prove it to you. Let it show. Look at all this. It's got to clear here. Look at all this resistance up here. It's got to clear. Let it. Maybe you get up here and it bounces and you come back here. Now, okay, maybe we'll take it the second time. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Lunatic. Oh, I think I got this. What did you give me? This was Dot, right? Lunatic gave me Dot. Yeah, nice, really nice chart. Oh, shit, I better make sure it was this what it was. Should I've seen so many of these. I try and do a little preview. Yeah, it was Dot, right? Okay, so nice work that he teed up here. Lunatic. Lunatic is, I think, relatively new, right? So this is great looking work. Beautiful. And nice choice here. So he's using the Elliott Wave with the squeeze indicator in. That's better coloring. Much better. This is a useful tool, right? It's particularly for an Elliottician. Okay, let's see. So where are we here? I think that's me. I added this. So 1, 2, 3. It's good work, right? So note, right? He's taken the time, right? So I always appreciate that. Let's say, okay, right? I got a 5, I got a 3. All right, okay, wasn't that hard? Okay, so well, that's a little funky in there. How you doing this? Okay, well, you're kind of stuck with it. So you see what he's kind of been forced into this, going A, B, C into the B here. Is it great Elliott? No, and I'm not saying his Elliott's not good. I mean, just the market's not really cooperating there. Is there really? So you look here at that 3, and you might think WXY. So can I really get an ABC into this? Sometimes, right, the market's not going to give you perfect Elliott all the time, right? You have to accept that and go, okay, well, what's the implication here? What is the market implying? I've had a good 5 and some sort of a 3 here is corrected. I know, right? You might say, well, that's fucking lazy Elliott. Is it, right? I mean, to some degree, right, we're after the fact, right? So I'm just kind of coming back here looking at his work going, okay, how did he deal with that? That's about as well as you can, right? Now given what's come off of that. Okay, so up we go into this nice impulse. So 1, 2, 3. Well, hey, let's see. Hang on a second. How did you do there? Okay, so he's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, okay, let's right, so duly noted here, right? Nice use of the median lines here. So we got all of that, but I'm going to hide this just for a second here. This is not a really clean count, actually. Let's see if we can get away with this here, right? This might just be just something to think about here. Lunatic, well, here. Let's just start right here, right? So this is the highest peak in the Elliott oscillator, which is how this is intended to be used for an Elliottician. Okay, where's the 3? Where's the 4? Where's the 5? I think we might. I'm gonna push him here just for a second now. Let's take. We got to measure, right? Does that fly? It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be good because 3 is. If I just let's get out of. No, we're not in log scale, right? As I just double check this, right? You have to measure, right? We measure twice, cut once, right? So there's second most common, right? 127, 1382. Interesting, right? So I think that the swing structure suggests that you've got your top in. Now, why do I say that? Because if he's thinking this is 4, 5 potential here that he gets a fake out here. Now again, nobody knows what's coming. I'm just saying, right? When we look here, it looks like maybe you get a little push here, but that very, very likely could be the B wave here. So now if we put it in that context, okay, here's the 1, here's the 3, here's the 4, here's the 5, right? Now we're in the A wave. Now note here, we've just come down from this pivot, from a secondary pivot, if that's because I was looking at that, I was looking for your 4 here. I was like, Remember, we don't really want a 4 going that far. 50 is about as far as you want a good 4 to go because that gives you the legs to get up and get a better 5, right? You come this deep, often you're setting up for a failed 5th or a truncation, right? So now let's look at it here. Say, okay, is it any better here? Well, what would be better right off the bat? Right, the channeling is going to be better, right? Which is It's really, you kind of need it for a good, if I'm going to put money at risk and I think I've got an impulse, that fucking channel better be tight. You've heard me say this many, many times. I do not want this. I don't want that ever, right? I won't trade that. I don't care if I'm forced to say, oh, there's a triangle. I don't want that trade. Right? I'll let that trade go until I can get more clarity. I want this trade here because I've got a clean impulse here. And, right, it all fits down here. Right, well, here's, look at the RSI, right? There's your peak. I think that's a better count. And now that would mean we got to bring this back here. Now, what have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure looks like that's a better A wave, right? B, maybe you get that. Where can we see obvious, right? We'd have some support down here. So again, don't forget to do this, right? Always a good idea, right? There's so much emphasis on order blocks and, where we're with order block. Order block, there better be a reason to call it an order block, right? What's the premise of an order block is that you had size come in there and push the market, right? That's why a good order block is almost always followed by displacement, right? Or a fair value gap. Think of it that way, right? Signs that it was muscle that came in there in size. Okay, well, where's the size? Well, we got this, obviously, right? We've all of this consolidation, right? Which is very common to retrace back to the 3-4 down a degree. I've got a pretty big gap right here. So if we start to fall, oh, there's not a lot there to support it. Looks like a better 5 coming down, doesn't it? Although this wick is, whoa, that's nuts. When it gets that funky, I will go over to the line chart and say, okay, how do we got here? That sure looks like a 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, okay. A, B, C, maybe that's done. Look at length of time, right? Remember, time's a factor when we got to deal with that, right? So length of time of this, we're going to correct it right here. We're going to be done right here, and now we're off again. Yeah. That's not how I would approach it, right? So just again, I'm not saying don't trade it, right? So if this is, maybe you'd trade it this way, right? So this is, if we're going into, this is the 1, 2 or A, B, maybe we're going to have an A, B, C, something like this for the B. We're going to get a bigger B and then come down for the C. So I'm not trying to talk you out of taking a long there, if that's what you're thinking, right? Because fuck, I could be totally wrong. Maybe that is the 4. I just think looking at it here, right? Using, well, that's a little bit of just experience as well as, okay, what are we looking for, right? We want to see that channeling, right? That's not me. That's Elliott, over, how many years has it been? 80 years, 75 years. I do like what he's done here where, let's go back to the daily, right? Where he's kind of identifying this consolidate or this range here, these pivots. Shit, what is that coming from, right? So he's going way back here. I mean, if we're going to have a big crypto bull, right, you want to be, so we have a real use case here, right? So you don't want to miss the ride here. But boy, I love it down here. Love it, right? If we could get a B here, well, let's put together a roadmap. Right. Could we get that? Look where the target is. Okay, so then you go, well, wait a minute, man. Okay, if it's going to do that, right? And I'm just completely wrong, and this ends up being the 4, we're going to the 5. Okay, what does that mean? Are we just going to go to the moon? Maybe. Wouldn't it be more likely you'd get another chance at it? Careful of those, right? We're all kind of trigger happy right now, right? Oh, it's going to come. It's going to be big Bitcoin ETF crypto bull in 24, right? So it's tempting to front run these things. Like I said last week, right? Number one reason for failure amongst traders, right? Lack of discipline, impatience, right? Which is a way of saying poor money management, right? FOMO gets the better of them. Careful here. Careful. All right. Hang on. I got Wonka. Okay. So Wonka, he's not skiing. I thought he was checking in from the slopes. Okay. All right. Let me keep moving. So that's Lunatic. That's a good handle. Luna TIK. Lunatic. Good handle. Top Hat Panda Magician stepped away for a couple of months. I'm so glad to see him back. Always a great member. As I recall, he was a little prickly on the way out, but I'm so glad to see him back. Okay, so we're looking at, do I have it? Tesla. He gave me a nice Tesla count here. One of the great handles of all time. Top Hat Panda Magician. All right. So let's work off of what you're giving me here. I see you're giving me a couple of, I'll leave that one. So, okay. What we got down here? Looks like that needs a reset. So I got Stokes, I got an RSI, and that's probably an Elliott oscillator of some sort. Okay, you know, you guys see that I do this here. I don't want these influencing my decision, right? I go there last, right? So I do the work here and go, oh, okay. Do the oscillators kind of support that? Now a Stokes on something like this, right? That could be is that a Stoke or a Stoke RSI? That's a Stoke RSI, right? Which I recognize. One of my early mentors, that was his go-to indicator, right? So I know what it looks like. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait a second. All right, okay, so 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5, right? So a leading diag. Okay, or 1, 2, 1, 2, right? So okay, well let's consider that, right? How technical are we, right? So if it's 1, 2, 3, right, for a diag, we always want to look for that 4 to come back. Well, of course, obviously we want to overlap the 1, but we want to look for the 50, right? That's where they tend to get a reaction. 50 from the start of the 1 through the pivot of the 3, as you see it here in the 2 counts he's giving us. This looks like a beautiful ABC, right? So look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So there's a clean finish here. So his analysis here, I think, is spot on, right? So it's a WXABC, right? So the C's. That's one of those where, as an Elliottician, you're looking at this going, okay, where are the 3s and the 5s? Okay, well, here's a clear 5, right? Nobody's going to miss that, right? That's just in your face, right? So I got to work backwards. Well, if that's a 5, 3, and that's a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Okay, I got to work backwards, so can't be done there. So likely that's the X, that's the W. Now this is a little, it's probably A. Maybe get a little triangle there. It almost doesn't matter. A, B, C, right? So into the pivot here. Okay, so let's look at the first one. Well, if it's a leading diag, okay, well I gotta come out of here. I need this. It's not optional. This has to come out as a series of 3s, right? I've got to get an A, B, C, right? It's a diag, so it's got to be 3s. Well, pardon me. Here I'm catching myself. Because it's a leading diag, it could be a 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. And maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That may be what we've got here. 5, 3. 5, 3. So we'll worry about that here. So for that to realize, we got to get way up here. Do we have an impulse? Well, it looks like we do. Looks like we've got a clean impulse here. So just force of habit, right? This is a good just habit, right? Okay, if that's my 1 A, B, C into a 2, 3. God, that may just barely sneak in there. 3. Ugh. Can you do that as a 5? It's a stretch. Looks like you might have cleared it by a tick. To get that to play as a 5, 2. Pardon me. A, B, C, A, B, C. So what are you doing here? You're doing A, B, coming down for a C. Okay, why is he doing that, right? So he's almost being forced into it because this is coming down as a 5. So we're not getting a 3 here. So he's kind of stuck with this, right? Well, right? Anyone who's analyzing this, looking here, this is kind of what he's stuck with because the 5 that's coming down here. It's kind of ugly. What do you got? Oops. What do you got here, Top Hat? These don't have any. I don't know what they are there. I don't know if that's just what you're giving me there. Are these? Let's see what you're giving me. You're giving me. Okay. Well, so you're giving me 50s. And you're giving me the negatives. Okay, so 1, 2. Let's pull this off here. Top hat, I'm just going to pull those just for a second here so I can get a better look in here. So let's label it. See all right, if it's a diag, that's going to be A, B, C. All right, and this has got a kick, right? This has got to be, if it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's going to be leading, right? It's got to be longer. So, right, it's got to be, if this is the 4, that's our target, which, oh, look at that. He's already got it marked up here. A, B, I got to have a big C come out of here. Earnings. I took a beating last time on earnings, right? I was bullish and I was on the wrong side of that. That was the single biggest loser I had last year. I play on earnings. All right, so what I should have done, right, is woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? I should have played the straddle, but I was bullish. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of fugly. Let's go out to a daily. What do I got? Oh, so I've got anchored VWAP. Good choice. So you're right in the pocket here. Look where we are here. Right? So this is, earnings are coming the 24th. I'd probably do the straddle, right? I'd probably do the same thing, right? We've got a little time to go here. So barring a big sell-off here to change this count, if we stay in this range, I'd trade the straddle. I probably will, as a matter of fact, coming into earnings on the 24th. There's not much else to do with that. Well, because, of course, you could look at the potential here, right, that this could be just an A, B, C, and we're going to go down, given the bullish market that we're in. Well, you can kind of look at it right now, right? So you look at it as it sits here right now. You're kind of right. We're thinking premium discount. Maybe if I could buy it down here for a bull, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you're getting below that, then you're invalidating the diag. So I think this is a hurry up and wait. That's not good enough for me, right? So, for what that's worth, right? That's not enough yet. I would kind of keep an eye on this as we approach earnings. If we haven't taken out that swing low, I'd be looking for, and it's possible, right? Anything's possible that we have a big launch here to confirm this going into earnings. That we're going to do that in the next 2 weeks or 10 days. What are we at? 2 weeks. We're gonna launch up here, and of course we could. My guess is we're likely going to stay contained in here. We're going to go into earnings, and then it's going to be pick your side or work a straddle. Okay, thanks, Top Hat. Oh wait, he gave me He gave me an alternate here. This is on the 4-hour, kind of what we were just looking at. So if that's WAAB, so if it's WXABCY, what else did he give me? ABC, WABCX down for the Y. So now you're back. You're out of the impulse. You're out of the idea that it's a leading diag, and we're just working threes. So there's a lack of, what do we want, right? We would like to see clarity. What we don't have here is clarity. There's one more here. I think this is the last one. If it's 1, 2, 3, 4, could be, right? Could be we're doing a diag down here. So, well, I think Top Hat is kind of making the case for me, as in this could be so many different things. Maybe we let this resolve, right? So we get a little more clarity. A lot of times that's what you're faced with as an Elliottician, right? It's not to be crude, right? But it's a little bit like a strip tease, right? It's revealing itself slowly. And it kind of teasing you into, oh, is it going down? Oh, wait, no, it's going up, right? There's a slow reveal for the technician, and it's the impatience and not waiting for it, right? It gets you in trouble. So I would be cautious there about taking any aggressive stance either way. It's just there's no clarity, right? I mean, he's kind of demonstrating that by giving me 1, 2, 3, 4 different counts, and he's a good technician. So he's kind of making my. I should have looked at his other stuff, right? We'd come to the same conclusion. Thanks, Top Hat. I'm glad to see you back. Ben B, right, always comes through. He wants XOP. Let's look at XOP. XOP, what is it you want here? XOP. So I think he got to be this. The ETF, NB? Got to be. Got to be. Okay. It's kind of interesting. All right, so let's here. Just as I would with anything. Okay, so first thing I see is whatever happened here, we got an overlap. So it looks like I can work backwards here. So this is so good, right? You know, I guess I like to think that the value here is seeing the sausage made. Okay, I got a 5 here. I get a... oh, that's a fucker. A little sloppy down here, right? So still very, very valid as a 2, right? We don't have the algo here. Where is he? All right, so a lot of times it's okay. Where is he? Where's Al? Really don't like those secondary pivots. So just a little trial and error. Where is he? You know he's going to be in here. There he is. So how do we reconcile that, right? So some sort of a 5 completes here. This is a fucker. Well, let's measure that, right? So 1, 2, you want to go 3, 4, 5 into the 2, but you really can't. So you got to go 1, 2. God, are we stuck with 1, 2? We might be. Well, this is one of those cases where you got to make a decision about, you know, how committed you are to that rule. That looks like a 5 coming down here. Looks like a flat, really, right? So, I mean, you know, I don't live and die by these rules, right? It's a guide, right? It's designed to be a guide, but you're going to say, okay, I couldn't possibly take that long because it overlapped by a tick or 2. Shit, what is it? It's frustrating, right? It's one of the big frustrations of Elliott Wave, right? That little close below, I might let that slide myself. Now let's measure here, just to see if we can get a good plan put together. All right, so it's a process now because I don't have something that's easy. Okay, so how technical are we? Okay, so good, right? Note up here. It's technical, but it's not giving me clean Elliott. Well, shit, I'd have to do this as a 2. So one possibility here would be 1, 2, 1, 2, which I don't particularly like. Well, let's label it, right? So always, right? You just want to start. Okay, let's start. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got to put them somewhere. So let's just throw them up there and see what we end up with here. And then it's a little bit of a moving them around. Okay, so could this be 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3? Well, let's consider that. I don't love it just off the top of my head, but let's just take a look there. Sometimes you're going to get stuff you aren't going to like it. Okay, 1, 2. Let's label this internal. Well, let's see if we can stick with our rules and guidelines. Right, that would be 3, 4, 5. So this one, these all have to go up here. So let's go out of that. Let's go down. Right. So so what? Hopefully you see what I'm doing here. Is I'm trying to accommodate this rule break. It's mighty fucking tight. So I don't love that because then I'm going 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and I like that better as the 3 at this degree. Oh, here, let's put that in another color. At this degree. Let's I'm gonna bail on this one here just to get, and I'm gonna bail on that one here. So bear with me a sec. Let's see how we look here with something I'm comfortable with. That's too choppy here. So with that, I would take that and double it. So I would go to a 1070. You guys have seen me do this before. All right, when it's too humpy, for lack of a better way. Okay, right. 1, 2. I kind of want that to be a 3, but I can't do it. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3. You're kind of stuck with that. All this would have to shoot up here. Well, that's just a waterfall. That's kind of that's a bit of a fucker. I don't have a good finish there, so you're kind of back to, okay, it looks like I'm finishing with an ABC again. Might be a triangle here. I probably think triangle here, something along these lines. It's a hard one, right? Not an easy one. ABC, ABC, ABC. You kind of see the problem, right? It's starting to fall apart. So because you're getting too removed here. I don't want to connect this to this. So I'm midway through it and I don't like it just for that reason. So I'm more inclined to think 1, 2. Let's take this down here and top it there. That's a fucker. It just is, period. Can we do it this way? All right, so if this is a triangle, now you're thinking A. Fuck. You have to do it this way. I can't get, oops, I need a triangle. I can't get that clean. A, B, C, D, E, and that's wishful thinking. But I don't want that to be connected, right? It's too far removed from this 1, 2. It's too big. So 1, 2, 3, even that's a little bit shaky. Well, it looks like you're 5 into that. You got a 5 there. Looks like a flat coming out of that. 3, 3, 5. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tough one. I'm gonna have to relabel that. Let's do this. Oh, shit, here now I'm probably boring you guys to death. I think you're more likely looking at something like that. A, B, C, D, E. Oh, that's a bitch. I would just kind of sit here. This is already off. I would just wait here on this one because I can't get a clean count into that. I don't have a good 5 to finish this. I don't quite have this. Even here. Can't get it. A, B, C, D, E. It's going the wrong way. So coming out of that, I do get a 5. Well, gun to head, you're probably okay here. Elliott's iffy. Even that's a little squishy at the bottom. 1, 2. If I were forced to trade this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Shit, I wouldn't give that much room at all. Already looks like you're about to get stopped out there. I would not give that much room. 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, best case. And I wouldn't, it still looks like it's falling here. I'd want to see a little bit of an uptick here. Show me a little bit of that. And maybe I'd catch that. Tough one, Ben B. All right, so let me, I'm going to, I could probably, I don't want to bore you guys here. That's going to take some more work, but I don't want to lose you. If I get stuck there, it's kind of makes for a shitty, boring live stream. Okay, GDX is the other one, so let's look at that one. I'm not going to get them all off the first look. Okay, VanEck gold, right? So a lot of people are saying, oh, Bitcoin ETF. What about the gold ETF? Isn't that a safer way to go? Is it? Well, let's see. Well, these guys are going to be players. Does that look yummy? Let's get out to a weekly here. Okay, well, there's a 5 to finish, is it? Well, this looks like gold, right? So you're going to have to do 1, 2. This has to be the 2 because we sweep this low. So you're kind of stuck here, right? If you've got your Elliott hat on, you're stuck with that, right? Now there's the one we just looked at where it overlapped by a tick or two. We're on a weekly chart here. That's a bigger overlap than you realize. So what would you do with that? Okay, well, let's label it up. 1, 2. Oh, pardon me. I'd probably do WXY. So I'd do it this way. 1. This, you have to do that. Jesus, that's just fucking ugly, isn't it? God, we have to do a diag here. This looks like A triangle B into a C, right? So there's, let's do it. Let's see if we can get a WXY here. A, B, C, W. Oh, fuck. X, Y, something along these lines. And again, does we're on a weekly chart here. How much does it matter? Okay, can I come out of there? Let's go to a daily. Oops. Whew, what a cluster F that is. 1, 2, 3. That flies. Okay, so often you just got all of this. You can't quite see it, and then it shows up. So you have to do it that way. But note here, right? So there's okay, and I can live with that, right? I mean, we don't overlap. We know an algo drove it, right? How do we know that, right? Look, it's straight to the target. Now, when we look where we've come here, now we're a little sloppy down here. Jesus, Ben B, you're not giving me two that I'm overly enthusiastic about. That looks like you're kind of stuck with another 3 there. That's 3, 3. That doesn't look particularly good. Okay, well, we know what happened here, right? We don't have to wonder about it. Okay, why does it stop there? Well, we know why. Well, it looks that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that looks like A, B, C, A, B, C. So that looks like you got the same problem here. You're doing W. Looks like X. You'd be looking for Y down here. Looks like you got a nice consolidation zone down here to play with. That's straight down off of so we know an algo's responded there. Right? Just look at the reaction. I think that's hurry up and wait. I would not be looking long there myself. Now, of course, I say that an LA count is always just a snapshot in time. If we do this, okay, we got to rethink that. Maybe there's some sort of diag in here. But right now, path of least resistance, any sort of retrace looks like that would be an opportunity to sell it for that. Oh well, that's if we're gonna get A, B, C. We'll do it that way. Oh man, Ben B gave me a tough couple right there. Particularly the last one, XOP. That's a brutal one. I might, if I have time this afternoon, I might go back to that, post it under the chart. Maybe I can get some of my Elliott wizards to have a look at that with me because I don't see it at first glance. Okay, Razor, ADA to Bitcoin. Okay, Razor. That's a good handle. What did he want? A Cardano to Bitcoin. Here we go. Well, let's pull back a little bit. I've got some market structure on here. That's Cardano to Bitcoin on Coinbase. Just not much confusion about the trend, right? That's pretty obvious. Now we've had a pretty good break here from this lower lows, lower highs, right? So we know we have a good, oops, the wrong one. We have a good low here, right? Sweeps that high. So we have a good low here. Looks like 1, 2, 3. Let's get in there. That's oof. Hang on a second. That's, just a big slop monster. Looks like you got to work a 1, 2 there, right? You're kind of stuck with it. 1, 2. That would be the 4 of it. 3. Jesus. What a clusterfuck that is. I want to get it done here. Whoops. I don't know if I can. All right. Anybody have a lot of conviction in the count here? See, I look at that and I just go, okay, it's consolidation, right? It doesn't really matter to me, right? Not to be lazy about it, but it's just consolidation, right? There's not much you can do here. Okay, so this is, you get a tell. Right? Okay, so breakout trader, right? They're always going to get bent over. So I've got this consolidation here. So maybe there's some sort of a retrace here. So I'd want to see how do the algos respond? Okay, pretty good. It's fuck. W, X, Y, I don't know if it matters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So what immediately right off the bat, what's not to like about that? All right, so I think I've made this point pretty aggressively over the last many live streams. It's exactly what we don't want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So my 2, right? Does that have the right look? When I say that, it's not like, oh, well, something like that has certainly never happened before. That's not what I'm saying. It's just, I'm picky, right? If I'm putting money at risk, it better have the right look to me, right? I mean, that doesn't mean I'm right. I could be wildly ass wrong, but okay, here's the impulse. Maybe over here, but now you're truncating. Right, we got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you say, all right, maybe there, some sort of a diag gets into that 1, 2. It ain't pretty, period. But look what's come off of it. So how much do I care, right? So it's not great, right? You're not going to get perfect Elliott all the time, period. You got to deal with that. You got to accept it, right? It's not like, oh, well, shit, I didn't. So let's force something. Okay, whatever I did down here, that coming off of it, okay, we whatever we did up here, we're correcting it now. I think we could all agree with that, right? So what I don't want to do is I try and connect the two, right? So this is the correction. Now, if we're stuck with this, which we may be, right? It could be that we're stuck here, right? And we're just going to have to go A, B, C. That just means in my mind, okay, I got to have a better launch here because I don't love the way that finished. But I mean, there's plenty of assets we could look at where you're like, oh, I mean, even Bitcoin, right? The finish 3, 4 into the 4, 5, right? Which many Elliotticians were reluctant to call it the fifth because it could have been a 3 into a B, but enough time passes and you're like, well, fuck, okay, it doesn't have the right look. I don't love it, but there it is. Okay, so A, B, C coming down here. Well, now where are we? Okay, well, if that's what we're doing and we're stuck with this, where are we? Maybe we'll come back to all of that consolidation. Maybe. Wouldn't that be a little gift? I'm kind of curious here again. Always measure everything, right? There's never a reason not to, other than laziness. Oh, okay. Coming down 227, 261. That's a lot for a C. It's not like it doesn't happen, but that's a whole lot. All of this imbalance here, right? You know that's whether you think, oh, it's obviously algorithms or heavy players. It's displacement, right? So there's nobody on the other side of it. It's just push, right? That's what a fair value gap is showing you, right? The imbalance, right? There's nobody on the other side, right? So there's no buyers on the other side. So it just pushes, right? And it gaps and it gaps and gaps. There's no buyers down here. So as we look down here, do I have a good finish? Well, you got the ingredients for it. All right. So we swept the low, right? So breakout trader. Again, I've done enough on that, right? So I'd like to think anybody watching knows that's not how you want to approach the market. Okay, are we done here? I swept that little high, so I've got a contender, right? So at least I've got the first ingredient for a low here. 1, 2. Oh, not really. Do I? Let's go to 30. Right, does that look any better? Oh, it's starting to look worse. Anybody dying to get on that? So what you're saying is Cardano is going to, move percentage-wise more than Bitcoin. All right. Anybody want to jump on that? I'm not saying, who gave me this? Razor. I'm not saying don't take it. I'm just saying make sure that it's got all of the, it's always a good idea to have a bit of a checklist. Okay, right? Did we sweep the lows, right? Was there displacement? Yep, we did, right? So I got swept the lows. I got a break of structure. What do we know right here on a 30-minute? What do we know follows a break of structure, right? Retrace. Right, I broke the last little retrace here, right? So I get this is confirmed as a pivot with the break of that swing. Okay, so I've got a good pivot here. Is that 1, 2? Is it? Note the displacement. We come right back to the edge of it, and we get more displacement, but now it's filled in, right? So the imbalance is rebalanced. Can't say I'm dying to buy that. I'm picky, right? So I would say, okay, give me that, right? Oh, okay, maybe now I'd be interested. See, the temptation, we all have to face this. Oh, if I get in early, my upside is so much bigger. That's the thinking here. Oh, shit, well, let me get in now, right? So, you could get in now, stop under the pivot. Plenty upside. But remember, all that imbalance, right? Those are all areas where you might going to get some resistance. So I'd be careful about that. Let's go back to a 2. Right, all of this will be resistance, right? Is that imbalance, right? Think of it this way, right? So aggressive sellers are creating the imbalance. So when we come back to these levels, right, think they might defend? They might, right? They likely is not they, it's likely is software. Okay, we're coming back to these imbalances, right? Don't feel like it's the only reason to buy that is FOMO. It's the only reason. FOMO gets you in trouble. Daniel. Oh, is that a new? Well, that's a new. Let's see. Oh, man, he gave me a list here. So let's start with his first ones. LDO. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're good on time. Okay, LDO. Shit, what are you doing? So I think you went crypto here. Oof. Well, where's the U.S. trader? Well, I guess we could do Mexi. There's why am I on Mexi, right? Because they're one of the few exchanges where a U.S. resident could trade. They have no KYC. Other than that, right? Well, here. Where are you going to trade this? You're not trading here. You're not trading here. You're not trading here. You could trade here. Maybe VPN. Not here. Not here. No longer. Well, I think you can do this. No KYC, but it probably doesn't last long. You can't do this from the U.S. anymore, right? That's why I don't have a relationship with anymore with BitGet, right? They can't accommodate U.S. traders. Great exchange. Loved trading there, but can't trade them as U.S. So where can we trade as U.S., right? Mexico, that's about it. All right, so I got a lot of market structure on here. So let's go to a daily here on LDO. All right. Okay, so how are we doing here on LDO? Jesus. Not a whole lot of history. All right, so a few things, right? Just saying, right? So hopefully what you guys recognize here is the value of all of this, and sitting through a live stream watching me do this, is you pick up a process. Okay, so because when you pull up that chart, you may not have some of this stuff on there, but let's pull up the chart here. Well, fair value gaps, right? You can spot them. You can draw them yourself. It's easier to let a piece of software do it for you. Does that look like a golden zone? Maybe. Might be a little too far. There might be. Nope, of course not. Right? Oh, God. It's just fucking unbelievable, isn't it? I don't know. You tell me. Is this technical? Right? Are the algos in here? Are the algos in here? You tell me. I always feel like people are like, oh, God, he's not going to fucking talk about the algo again, is he? How could anybody with more than 2 brain cells not look for that now? Many times, I've been doing this for 5 years, probably shown it 50,000 times. How could you not look for Al? What, you suicide? You just want to crash your account? Too lazy to do it? Don't know how to do it? Don't understand it? Well, we can help you with that. Blue belt, right? That's all. Blue belt is a whole lot of that. Okay, so not to. Again, let me be very, very, very clear here. I did not discover this, right? That's David Halsey. I didn't discover Elliott Wave either. You don't have to be the pioneer behind any of this to trade it successfully. That sure looks like a 3-4, right? Doesn't it? Just looking Elliott. Oh, it's okay. Even if we take some of this off, right? Okay, 3-4, 5, right? So can we do? You're just looking at it, going, God, where can I find a 5 in there? Can I find a 5 that has a decent look? It's okay. Is that the cleanest count I've ever seen? No. Will it play? Okay, 1, 2 maybe. All right, we know that's a golden zone. Okay, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. This fucking almost doesn't matter, right? Whatever it is, it's corrective. Well, now we've come off of this, right? 3, 4, 5. All right. Now, what now? Since I've got 1 and 2, what's the next thing I want to do? Well, I've got a couple options here. Actually, I shouldn't say it quite like that, right? Since I've got a golden zone here, one thing I could do right off the bat, golden corner, right? We know we have 80% odds that we get there, right? As long as we don't roll over. Now it looks like, oh, if it's not going to get there, if it's not going to do it right here, maybe we do it over here. Right? Doesn't matter, right? Time is not the variable here. It's just as long as it gets there, right? That 80% gets realized. Okay, well, if this is, let's take that up a degree. If this is, oh, fuck, come here. If this is, oh, that'll work. Okay, 1, 2. If we're not going to get here, what do I got here? Oh, that's CPI. If I'm not going to get here on this push, how might it look, right? Possibly 1, 2, 3. Right now, I could draw another set of median lines here. I could draw another set of channels, right? I want to use the geometry because the algos use it, right? And algos drive the market. Okay, so maybe I got another 1 here. Maybe, right? I don't know. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take that down. Oh, let's go here. Excuse me. Damn it. Sorry. Allergies kill me. Okay, looks like I might have a contender here for a 1. I don't know that that's done. Let's go to a 4-hour. Well, that looks like a 50. Right, so let's just see how we did coming out of here. Well, that's kind of bumpy down here. It's pretty technical. I don't know shit where to even start that. This is the lowest low, but I don't know that I want to go 1, 2. I'd be more inclined to do it this way. Looks like we're heading for 3, 4, 5 there. Now again, it's not perfect in there. Don't be looking for perfect. Right? I mean, if it's in front of your face, right? Okay, perfect, great. Okay, there it is. But let's go to a line drawing here. Well, that's your deepest. Well, probably I've got this wick here. Well, just out of curiosity, right? Sometimes these wicks, right? It's just you'll get. I can't make this shit up, guys. I can't do it. So we get this wick drop here. Now, note here, I'm pulling this because that's the wick that comes down. Where does it stop? You think that's just a trader stepping in there to buy that? No. Nope. Only an algorithm would do that. Okay. So 1, 2. Shit. What was? Jeez, looks like you got it back to back. One, two. Okay, right. You guys see this, right? 50, golden zone, golden zone. Look where the two targets are. Again, I mean, I don't know how that's not a cornerstone of your TA. How could it not be? Really, how could it not be? Would you ever pull up a chart again and not have that be one of the first things you checked? Seems unlikely. All right, so is there a trade here with LDO? I'd be waiting for this something's got to finish here, and we start a retrace. I mean, there's so much, right? Obviously, it's algo heavy. Well, okay, right? Where are we now, right? If you think of it this way, okay, if this is 1 and this is 2, right? We're very much in the premium, so we want to wait, and for a retrace here, you want to do it differently, right? Want to do it like this. Okay, well, 2 to the 3, whenever I get that, okay, I want to be a buyer down here, right? Can I buy in the discount? Am I in log? Yeah, I'm in log. I want to buy in the discount. Right? I want that retrace. Now look at it, right? We just tagged it. So when it's going up like this, you see, it's mixed emotions, right? So, oh shit, look at this thing that's it's breaking up. Well, okay, so your next thought should be, oh God, I hope I can get the retrace. Not, oh, I better buy it. No, that's what retail thinks. Oh shit, I got to buy that. Nope. That is not the way to approach this if you want to survive long-term in the markets, right? Oh, it's going up. Oh shit. Okay, let's keep an eye on that, because eventually what's going to happen, right? We just had a major break of structure. What do we anticipate? Retrace. Oh, if it's a 3, what are we waiting for? The 4 to trade into the 5. This is what the absolute thing not to do is buy the breakout. I feel like I always have to say this. It's not that it couldn't do that. I'm just saying that's not where you enter. We want to enter down here, right, in the discount. We don't want to enter here. That's what retail does, right? They get that because they don't know any better, right? It's not that they're stupid. They just aren't inexperienced. No, some of them are stupid. Sorry. It's truth. Truth hurts. Okay, so LDO. How am I doing on time? Okay, we're good here. So LDO, he gave me a whole cluster of them. DOT, which I have here, right? So somebody else wanted DOT. Oh, we already looked at DOT. Okay, so I got that one for you, Daniel. SEI, that's interesting, right? I'm in that. This is a crypto play. I'm assuming. Oh, I think he wants crypto. He wants crypto. So. Let's go here. I'm saying that because he's going out. His comment was, I've got a bunch of coins that we could look at here. There is an AI play in traditionals where a company goes SEI. Okay, so that's daily. I don't need to be in log here. No, holy shit. Nice wick. All right, so I just ignore that. Right, that's doesn't really help us at all. I always like to get the low wicked off. All right, let's go to an 8 here, see if we get some subdivision here that could help us. Well, we're kind of stuck with a 1, 2 there. I mean, is anybody else immediately thinking otherwise? 3, 4, 5, all right, well, let's measure it. Pretty big rip. For a third to go past the 2618, that's all right. That's why we love crypto. Now, okay, so you look here and go, this is all one self-contained push, right? It's all just we have little pullbacks in it, right? But this is all just a big impulsive. I got anything below. Oh, here I've got his. I've got this. Right. So okay, there's probably not much dispute here about where the 3 is. Right. It lays it out for us. 1, 2, 3. That's probably the 3 of the 3. Now we don't know for sure. There is no knowing. We don't know that's what we've got here. But as it looks right now, it seems like that's most probable. Most probable that the fact that so we probably got an order block right here. Oh, here we just keep it simple. Okay, if this is the 2, 1, 2, that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. That has to be the 4. So there's going to have to be a 4, 5 to push up to get that 3 because that comes down into this. Okay, well, so what's the next thing you would do? Right. Well, 2 through the 4, 2 to the 3. I know I don't want this going beyond the 50. I want it to stay right in here. It's right where I want it. Now, what else would I do? Right. Again, use your tools. Oh, this is all straight up here, so I'd be looking here. Okay, where do I have some? Well, here's the value area. POC is way down here. We don't want that, right? So could I be down here? 4, 5, A, B. Yeah, could be. Could be down there. Okay, so now it starts to look a little bit better. Three looks like more of a flat. Okay, but so possibly, right? We can just look at this here and say, okay, look. I got a very low risk trade. Just for shit, half the time or more than half the time, we're looking at something. We don't get something that's setting up right now. It's like, okay, let's get this on your watch list because this might be good, right? Right now, as it sits right here, buy it. Yeah, I broke the golden zone here. It doesn't preclude it from being a 2. Oh, we'll go platinum here. Oh, where's platinum? Right into the 707, 786, 764, right? So we get, that's a deeper 2, right? It's not A, B, fucking doesn't matter, right? 1, 2, right? If it's good, why would you, oh, so you get, this is what I often find myself saying, okay, why would you not buy that? I mean, if you're looking for an asset to trade, why would you not buy it? Well, okay, let's think that through. Why would you not buy it? Oh, it doesn't look like it's done. Oh, I don't like the look of this 3. I've got something I like better. That's probably the best reason. I've got something that I like better. Otherwise, oh, come here. Oh, if you get, oh, you got a possible little fair value gap there. We're going for a 3. Why would you not shoot for the 3? 1 for the 3 of the 5. 1, 2. Now you may not get there, but that's a good target, right? We'd sweep the highs. Reasonable target up here. 1, 2, 3, right? Maybe get there. Always got to have a roadmap, right? I won't trade something that I can't lay out and say, okay, I can see how that could get there based on what's come prior. I can see how I can get there. Otherwise, you're just, heads I buy, tails I sell. Pretty good, like 1, 2. Now you're expecting something big here. If you don't get it, okay. Well, again, they're going to hurt me here. Right? Algo stops me out. They can hurt me? Nope. Would I go again? Well, if it doesn't sweep this low, yeah, I'd go again. Maybe we're going down here. Oh, wicked me out. Oh, here, maybe we're going to go 786. Or, right, the other choice is, let's see what happens down here. If it comes down here and you're, oh, fuck, right, uh-oh. Maybe I don't want this, right? Maybe, right? I mean, this is the pivot that matters. It's a target, right? Every pivot is a target, just like this was. These are all targets. You see what happened here? That was the target. Swept reaction. We come down here. Well, we know that. Is there anybody who doesn't think there's stops down there? No. Everybody knows there's stops there, right? If they can't get them, off we go. Yeah, get off of there. That's a good setup. That's Daniel. What else did you give me? EGLD. EGLD, all right? Where could a U.S. trader trade that? Nowhere. Kraken. You could do it on Kraken. Oh, we can only do it. Here we go. Kraken, I keep an account there just for that reason, so I can trade some of these assets. I have no problem with Kraken. I think they're a pretty good exchange. That's a daily. Okay, right? So we got problems figuring out where we are here. Do we? Sure looks like an impulse. Looks like a correction. Again, I'm not trying to say things are easy, but every now and then you get something that's like, oh, okay, well, I can kind of see what happened there. So, okay, well, how hard is this? Right? This is not that hard. Okay, well, I got a good low here. Whatever this slop issue, there's probably more history. Oh, shit. I think there is more history on another exchange. Okay, that's fine, right? But I don't. The history is not likely to change the fact I've got an impulse and start on a correction. I don't care what the history is. Okay. Oh, I'd probably just use the lowest low. Now there's, right, if I draw this up, right, we all know what we're going to see here. Right, we're going to see the high, there's the POC. Oh, fuck. There's a POC splitting the golden zone. I get it right on it. 1, 2. Why would you, okay, so why would you not take that? Risk reward's not enough? Really? Risk reward's not enough? Okay, let's take a look at that. All right, well, what are we going to do next, right? We don't know. Now, this could come here. Maybe we get a golden. There's POC, right? We know that likely there'll be a reaction there. If I got something like that, oh, okay. Does it look like it's done? Oh, let's go to a 4, right? Kind of a slop monster. Yeah, I don't have this right now, so let's just leave it here. Well, that's interesting. Here, let's hide this for a sec. All right, so looks like let's get in there for a sec. All right, how are we going to be strict with our rule set here? Is this 1? Fucker. You know, you got to make a judgment call there, right? That's a tick or two. So what that would do to me, right, if I see that, like, oh, fuck, right? I'd prefer it was clean, Elliott, but if it's not clean, okay, well, it would cause me to be a little bit more selective about how this sets up down here. So, okay, right? So, you know, that's... Okay, if I'm going to do this here, that's what I'm looking for, right? To come out of there. So, right, since I'm looking for that, right? So I know that if this is accurate, right, and this is the swing, this is the retrace. If that's done, okay, then this low should not be violated. So that's a no-brainer to me. Oh fuck! Ken, why would you not take that trade? Right, what is it? 10 to 1. That's just if we go first target. It's 21 to 1. Why would you not take it? I mean, I'm not trying to be an ass or a cock when I say that. I'm just saying, okay, you got to look at that and go, okay, like what's wrong with it, right? So you always want to pick your part about it and say, okay, that looks too good. What's wrong with it, right? Be harsh on yourself, not like, oh fuck, heck, yeah, giddy up, let's take it. Slow down. Okay. Right. So what's the risk reward? Do I want to give it a little bit more? Right. Do I want to let it, maybe if we come down to the POC, we've got a little bit more. We go down here. We got equal lows down here, right? Obvious target, right? Those are going to be algo targets, right? It's liquidity. Was that an attempt to get it that failed? Maybe. They say the same thing here. They're trying, right? Buyers are too strong. That's not a textbook ABC. Right? It's not this. Right, we don't get that nice clean, but so which might be the hesitation. Oh, it looks like maybe that's more like a 5. Okay, well, if that were a 5, what are you expecting now? 1, 2, 3. Well, you might be expecting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so something more like this, right? So you'd get an A, B, C before you come down, possibly, right? If you're on the long side here, you'd have plenty of time to trail with a stop and not get hurt. Maybe take a small winner. You're not going to get the monster. But if you're not in here, you're definitely not, right? You don't play, you're not going to win, right? So then it becomes, okay, how much am I willing to commit to that? What's the risk reward there? Maybe I don't, well, it's fucking $50 crypto. Maybe I don't want to go balls deep there. But I like it because if it's going to come out of here, if this is 1, 2, and we're going to get a 3, I'm going to know. Oh, where would that 3? Okay, right? We can see possible congestion there at 4, 5, right? Can I get that? Plenty of opportunity here to put some low risk, right? Because if we do this, oh fuck, okay, it was a 3. But I'm not going to if we get up here, my stop's not going to remain down here. I'm going to pull that up, at least to break even. If I get that far ahead, I'm not going to let that turn into a loser because I can't, because the possibility here is still very real that this is 5, 3, and we're going to go down. But boy, there it is right in your face. Right? I mean, about as good as it could be. Did we sweep the... if you wanted to wait, right, you might wait for this to get taken. 1 A, B, C, right? You might wait for that, right? So you don't have any, there's no pullback here to confirm this as a low. Even this, really. So you might be thinking to yourself, oh, 1, 2, I got to sweep this, right, to confirm that's the low. Good one. Again, don't be reckless about don't be greedy, be defensive. Okay, MATIC. I think, do I have anyone else wanted MATIC? Yeah, I got 2 that wanted MATIC. Okay, so let's go. Okay, where are we going to trade it? Coinbase. All right, for US Res. So curiosity if any Bitcoin news. Oh, maybe 46. Okay, MATIC. Oh, come here. We got history here. We might have to go. Yeah, I think we do. 3 times the range. Yeah, we got to go log. Okay, well, so just obvious things, right? Again, it's process, right? Okay, so if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is that right? Let's label it. This doesn't matter, really. When I say it doesn't matter, I mean just in terms of we don't need to spend time labeling it. Okay, right, so if I'm coming off of this, what did I do here? Well, it looks like it's got a little extra in it. Just out of curiosity. Did we break? Yeah, we did, right? So you look here. Kill, all right, so and then pushed through, right? So we break that algo, right? So that's significant. Right? You want to get on the other side of that. Now, how about this one? All right, broken on both sides. So you don't have Al here to work with here on the larger swing structure. Don't have him, right? It's been broken on both sides. I think looks like you're stuck with this. It's not how I would first like to have seen it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3, ABC of 4. We don't overlap here. I wouldn't have preferred it that way, but it looks like you're stuck with that because you gotta work backwards. This being just all that it looks like, right? Of course, you would have been here at this moment in time. You'd have been thinking, "Oh, we're done." You would have been thinking, oh, of course, right? You've been thinking, oh, okay, well, not so fast, right, Elliott? Just a snapshot of time, right? They change all the time. Okay, it looks like I can work a 5 in here, and again, it's not rocket science. 1, 2, 3. Maybe it's a diag. Well, it's not a diag, right? If that's the 1. It's not gorgeous. What do we hit down here? All right, so, okay, again, you think like an algo, right? What did they do down here? Somebody sold that there. Just again, track back and see what retail did. Somebody bought it there. Somebody bought it there, right? They do it over and over again, right? So the point of that is to look for it, and we want to. Well, first, we don't want to be that guy, and second, we want to take advantage of that. What happened right here? What do we expect after a break of structure? Retrace, right? So the person buying that they're uninformed, right? They don't, just whatever, right? Greed, right? So it's going. A little discipline, right? As I've said repeatedly, number one killer, traders, right? Lack of discipline, impatience. Oh, it's going. I better, fuck it, right? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a 3 all day. All right, so let's get to a 4. Boy, that's gnarly. Well, okay, right. So again, when they're in your face, label them quickly, right? Okay, we can see we got a 5 here. Well, that makes you think A, B, C, right? So some sort of a flat, or do we have a WXY there? Probably. Oh, pardon me. We'd have to do it as a flat. Something along those lines. Now, things to note, right? They didn't get that. Why? Right. Anybody on the planet not aware that there's stops there? No. Don't get them. Why? I don't have an answer. I'm just saying, you got to look at that and go, wonder why? Why? That's too obvious. Why would they not get that? They got it here. Right? These stops were run. Liquidity grab. That's how you have to think of it. Right? You got to think defensively. Like, okay, who's on the other side of this trade? What are they doing? What are they doing? Do I have? I don't see any algo play in here that would be useful to me. I'm kind of. I'm in log scale here. Log scale kind of fucks me up. I mean, I suppose you might have to live with that as some sort of a ugly 1. Jesus, that is ugly. But you get a little ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4. You might be stuck with that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kicker in the 5th. God, I hate that. For all the reasons we've talked about before, right? Because it's. Let's come up here. It disconnects. It's hard to argue with that 5. So it's like it's always, this is a puzzle, right? It's okay. Well, I don't have the puzzle pieces lining up where I want them. So what are your choices here? No trade, of course. Just to be clear about this, why do I not like this? Like, what's the problem, Sam? Well, if that's my 4, right? It's not like it doesn't happen. Well, I really wanted it here, right? That's what I wanted. Right, because then I have the right look. Right, we stay self-contained, but I don't get it. No question, we got use case here. If we're going to fly, if Bitcoin's going to have a bull, or pardon me, if crypto's going to have a bull, MATIC's going to play a role. No question about it. I suppose the alternate here, we could do this. Here, let's before we abandon this here, let's consider, right? So always pick your work apart. What's wrong with it? Why not? Right? What's wrong with that? Could I do it here? I still got to deal with this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Can I dig that out of there? 3, 4, 5. It's not right. It's a lead. It would be a leading diag, right? We don't really want that there. We want to start there. Well, that's bad news, right? If that's the case, right? If that's the count, then we're anticipating this, right? And I don't, you know, this is where your bias is going to play a role here, right? So if you are bullish of crypto, you don't really want that because it implies we're coming down much lower. That's the problem with that count. Okay, well then you got to look at that and go, okay, well if it's not that, which I know my Elliott wizards would be screaming at me right now. Okay, if it's not that, then I got to do it. I got to do it like this, right? It's just got to be A, B. Oh fuck, 3, 3, 5, right? So we got to play it as a flat. Yeah, and I don't love it, but okay. So what's the downside, right? So if it gets up here, if you're chasing it up here, bad idea, right? But now, okay, if it's going to do that, well, let's wait for the fucking retrace, right? I mean, again, we're retracement traders. That's all we're trying to do is, okay, can I identify a swing structure here that would be advantageous? It gives me at least in my mind, the thought that I have a slight edge here because I recognize this pattern here. I recognize what's happening here. I can't argue with that 5. So if this is going to go, what am I looking for here? I'm looking for 5 swings. Just out of curiosity. Come here. Location is good. I don't like that for the. I think you're stuck with that. Okay. What next could I do in terms of potential roadmap? Well, all of this, right? We'd be looking for something really substantial here if this is done. Heavy emphasis on if. Okay, well, if it's going to go here, well, let's get in there. Let's get to a 1. Is that 1, 2? Time to buy it? You might be a little bit late there. Where's Al, right? Number one question, where's Al? Is that him? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's mighty skinny. You trying to dig that out? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that your 5? Whoa. Where is he? Where is Al? Little wiki, maybe. But you see what I'm doing here? I'm looking for a reason to buy it, right? Which is, you got to be careful of that, right? So I'm trying to come. Okay, can we go here? Careful of that, right? I'm down to a 15-minute, which I rarely want to make a trading decision unless I'm digging out a count on anything less than a 60, right? It's just the counts change too often, right? You get a much better view of it here. Okay, well, if this is going to go, it's not unreasonable to think that that's 1, 2, and we're going to go 3, 4, 5. So what's the thinking here? Oh, okay, well, I've just swept the 1. All right, so slow down, right? So okay, now this is process. What just happened? Is that my retrace? Could be, right? I got the break. Here's the retrace. Do I get a close there? I think I do. Let's be sure I get a close. I don't, right? So I don't have a clean break of structure until here. Actually, I get it here. So let's pop this up. All right, because this breaks this. So I've got a break right there, right? Because we close above, right? So I've got the break of structure. So is this, oh, fuck, that's an ugly 1, too. But maybe that's what I've got there. This looks like a triple. Reason for it. There's always a reason. Why is that not going? Always a reason. There are no random pivots. Well, okay. Maybe it's an imbalance here that's being rebalanced, right? Aggression here, displacement, right? Which makes you think this is a good order block right here, right? Why? Why would I say that? Oh, let's just do that, right? Why would I say that? Because it's swept the low here, and then I got displacement, right? So I know likely I've got muscle in here, size, right? That created that displacement, right? Now note here, right? So you got to look for these, right? So here I had it here, right? It came up, tapped, and now we're rebalanced here. So up we go. Now we're coming back down. What are we doing here? Picking up stragglers here, rebalancing this, right? Which got rebalanced right here. Tap, 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 go. There's the break. So you want to buy that? I'm in a hurry up and wait there. I've just had the break, right? If that's going to go for a 3, you're kind of late, right? Really, where did you want to buy it? Right? I know, fucking hindsight, right? Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe. Get right on that. Looks like that wick got through, right? But it's a close to confirm, right? So 1, 2, we going? Is that 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2? Doesn't look like it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like that's got another 1 to go. So I'd be looking here. Let's go up. Right, here's where Elliott Wave can be helpful. Okay, so I got 1, 2. Do I have another 1, 2 here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like I'm starting into a 1 here. Right. So where has the opportunity? If you want to be long here, you're waiting. Right. You don't buy this. You wait. This. I know. What if it goes? Welcome to FOMO. Okay, let me keep going there. Elton John, or Elon Jr., but I call him Elton John because that's what I saw the first time I looked at it. Elon Jr., I tease you, Elon Jr. Oh, look at the market. What a shocker, off to new highs. Elton John, pump. We got to look at pump. Well, I guess I can go here to Mexi. Ooh, shit. What do we got here, pump? Holy shit. Well, that's kind of interesting. I guess I need log scale there. Pump, right? Is that just a little twisted that we have a crypto called pump? Maybe. It's living up to its name. Okay. Well, did we get this? Nope. All right. So we don't know we have. I'd wait for that to clear, right, to confirm that you've got a low here. So this is unconfirmed. Interesting. I wonder what you're thinking here, Elon Jr. Why? All right. So. Okay, well, even if we just did something like this, say, okay, well, here's the range. Here's the range we're in. No, I know, shit. Here, I can't take it out of log. It's going to look pretty ugly, but couldn't I? Why don't I have that? Oh, I don't want that. I want that'll work. Okay, all right, so I'd prefer to buy it in the discount. Right? Why do I want to pay full retail? Right? I've gone right up about as high as I could go. Now, if it comes back, look, already, what does it come back to? Equilibrium. Let's go to a 1, see if there's any subdivision there. Okay, back we come. I mean, that's a, if you're taking that, you're taking a flyer. I don't know if they have a use case with that name. I'd be a little suspicious, but maybe they do. I shouldn't say that. I don't know anything about them. That name is interesting, though. Well, okay, if you want it, right, well, you're gonna have to put your stop down here, and there's from what do we got? 0.00025. It's pretty. That's a you're taking a flyer, Elon. Well, not that there's anything wrong with that shit. Flyers have people have gotten rich off of flyers. Mullates. That's a good one. Mullates. XRP. Oh fuck, XRP is a monster. What are we doing with XRP? Let's take a quick peek at Bitcoin. What are we doing here? Are we going to be stuck with that? Hope not. Right, already swept the 1, so it's whatever it is. It ain't pretty, right? So likely that you'd have to go 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. I digress. Let's get over to Ripple, which is what he's asking for. And he said, Mullates. It's the most clusterfuck chart in Elliott. It sure is. You are so right now. But is it technical? Okay, so this is what he want. Did you ask for this on weekly? No, maybe it's me who did that. Okay, so I think that's me, right? So, okay. Well, to be consistent, right, I would not want to be doing this. right? I don't want to do that ever. I would never take a trade off of that, ever. Right? Well, why do I say that? Only because I have before. Right? I don't say that just because it could be an ass. Right? I've done it way too many times. Right? I don't do it anymore. I'll wait, right? If it goes, so be it, right? There'll be a retrace. Okay, so fuck whatever that is, right? So impulsive correction comes right down. Oh, we get this fair value gap here. We tap the edge of it. Interesting, right? It's just the edge of it. Then there's this. Well, for a long time, we've looked at this and thought, oh, must be a leading diag. It doesn't quite play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. It's not great, right? It is a clusterfuck of an Elliott count. Okay, so here's the swing down. Here's the retrace. We go right to the 618. You're kind of stuck with this. WX. You'd have to do this as an ABC into an X. You know, something BC. It ain't pretty, right? But it certainly looks a lot better down here, right? If you could get it right now, I'm long as hell here, but I'm long-term play here. I'm not trading with a stop, and I'm only trading spot, right? And I'm in my I'm in the mid 50s, right? If it keeps, I'll average down because I'm thinking long-term here. That's just me, right? That's not necessarily what I'm advising, right? I'm never advising. I'm just telling you that's what I've done. Because I think it's long-term going to be much higher. How about I say it that way? True use case. Now, can we get the government out of the way? Maybe. Maybe not. They do have a way of fucking things up. Even though the intention, right, is to protect us. Okay, so XRP, that's a clusterfuck, right? There's nothing really to do here, right? I think with XRP, the position is not that I'm right. But my thought is, okay, you buy it, right? You average down. If it's going to truly replace the SWIFT banking system, then the upside here is massive, just massive. So, are we really want to dick around between? Oh, did you get it at 50 or 45? I could care less, right? But I just want to be there. How am I doing on time? Okay, I got a couple minutes. Okay, so Quim. Oh, that's a new handle, Quim. Hi, Quim. We got some new members in. Quim. Okay, Quim wants natural gas. NG. Let's go over to the futures. I'm assuming he wants the futures. Let's go to the daily. Oh, let's get that out of there. Time being, just take a look here. Oh, pardon me. I was going to say, God, that looks like the NASDAQ. Holy shit. I want NYMEX. Where are you? I don't want it. Holy shit. Where am I lost my mind here. Gotta be that. What the funk? They've changed the handle. I don't want to trade it here. What the fuck? What am I missing here? It's on the NYMEX. What the fuck? Boy, I'm having trouble finding the. All right, let's look it over here, see if there's anything I can pull out of that. And it's been a while since I traded natural gas, but I always thought it was on the NYMEX. So, okay, apparently I don't want to get stuck on that. Okay, well this is interesting. Okay, all right, it's just right off the bat, a few things we can spot. Okay, so it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Diag. It's kind of a deep 4. Well, let's go with that, right? Let's just work off the lows. Unless somebody, what if you switch to, oh, sorry guys. Anchor, oh shit, here, I've been paying attention to the chat. Looks like we got that here. But interesting, right? These are overlapping, but God, somebody posted in there why the hell I can't find it on the NYMEX. I don't know. It's odd. Actually, it might be here. That's a 3. Looks like you got some sort of a flat here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like that's your 3. That's a fucker. So you'd have to do it here. A, B, C into the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like you got a 5 there. A, B, C, clusterfuck. Okay, so let's. This is my last one. Last one is Bitcoin. Okay, so. What can we say with certainty? That is not an impulse. Truncation here, I don't like that. So 1, 2, clusterfuck. Okay, doesn't mean we can't trade it. This means Elliott's the wrong tool set here. Well, looks like that's a deep correction, right? So it doesn't look like I'm going to get any help from Al. No, that's too far. Well, you know, when you trade these things like natural gas, right? So a big part of that is the seasonality of it. Oh, shit, I wouldn't touch that myself. Not until something clears up. Looks like you got, well, let's see. It looks like you got a 5 that's coming down there. What are you doing with this? I wouldn't even take the time to do it, right? It's just whatever it is. Okay, what do I got here? Higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, right? I got a trend. Got a little spanky here, but I got a trend that's going up here. Now, what happens here? I change of character, right? As I come out of the... Remember something like this, right? What's happening here? This is all liquidity building up, which is why, if any of you have studied Al Brooks or just classic price action, right? The break of the channel, this is when retail sells it, right? The break of the channel is almost always liquidity being swept, right? Because where's retail putting their stops? Right under all this, right? That's why the channel break almost, emphasis, right? There are no absolutes in the market, almost always leads to a new high, right? Retail thinks, oh God, oh my God, we got look, we're going to go through the roof, and then they all get stopped out. The target would be up here. All right. Go up here, get a new high. So that's the premise, right? That we're going to get a new high. It may be only a couple of ticks, but that's the thought. Looks like I got a 5 here coming down. Okay, so something, right? It's either beginning or finishing. Simple as that. Clean impulse. It looks like 3 is definitely shorter than 1, right? So the extension is in the 5th. So something finished here. So maybe this is whatever that is. Maybe we can look at this here. What, you know, who fucking knows? 1, 2, 3. Maybe. May not be done. Something like that to get that out of the hole there, but that's some really ugly. I don't know that I'd be trading that. Go Quim. I mean, the other thing, again, just because it kind of, it's hard to miss, right? So you got some pretty good Wyckoff here, right? It's automatic reaction here. No, we don't get a spring, right? There's 2 schematics, right? You don't always get a spring. We don't get one here, but perhaps, right? Now this is the push, retest, right? Let's bring this down here, right? Retesting that. So maybe 3, right? It looks like there could be another kick there, but that could be the 3, 4 of the third. That's what I would see there. But well, for me to trade that, I'd want to see this complete. Right, finish it. Why? What's going to happen here, right? If we're going to get that break of structure, right? What am I anticipating after the break of structure? Retrace. Where would be a good spot to actually start to look for this or a trade? Yeah, I can just bring all of this right back. That looks pretty good. Yeah, now I don't have this, right? I'm just kind of giving that as an example. Oh, okay, I got a 5, right? So out of all this slop Okay, 5, 5. Okay, so really doesn't matter to me what that is. As long as I get a 5 and a 5 here, because something finished, something begins. So if it's gonna play ball, and I don't know that it is, but in terms of calculated risk, I'd buy that all day. All right, where's my risk reward? Whatever. 1, 2. Off we go. Okay, last one is Bitcoin from, who gave me this? Mo Millie. Where do we go with Bitcoin? Shit. Here we go. Mo Millie. Oh, I got a bunch of shit on there. Let's go over here. It's a little cleaner. At the 4 hour, right? So, this is leftover from last week, right? From Friday, where I was just talking about this. Okay, consolidation right now. One thought was we might have been done here, right? Because of this would have been all self-contained, although it's certainly, this looks like a 4, just like this looks like a 4, just like this for the long 2. Swing, consolidate. Impulse, consolidate. That news kind of fucked us up a little bit there. Excuse me, let's go to a 2 and see what we can do with that. Well, now it's okay, you're kind of, this is some sort of flat sideways drop. Can we get out of there? Oh, we can't get out of there with an impulse. Well, pardon me. We could right here. But now you would have a diag. Right? So, well, pardon me. Let's see. Let's look at all the possibilities. Now, right off the bat, what I'm going to say again, being picky. Oh, you can't do it there, right? So 1, 2. Look at the size of the 2 relative to the 4 in terms of length of time. Now we're kind of fucked here because the news creates this volatility, so it kind of distorts any sort of Elliott count here, because there's liquidation, pump, liquidate. Now we know why, right? We know why, right? We get this, but it's just a great example of why you don't want to ever, did I say ever buy a breakout. You just, you could do it or try it, see how it goes for you. Eventually you'll come to the same conclusion. Okay, so maybe this is I gotta live with this. Maybe I get an ABC into that. Okay, well, if I got that, is it technical? You think people did that? You think there's some guy sitting at Goldman Sachs going, okay, time to buy it right there to the tick? No, right? We all know that. We know that's human beings are not that precise, right? That's an algorithm. So maybe we're coming out of here 1, 2. I mean, the ingredients are there. ABC. You can, this is kind of a clusterfuck, but you can, if you got to label it, well, you got 2 choices here. Either not label it and just look at market structure and say, okay, did we break structure? Yeah, we did. Did we get a retrace? Yeah, we did. Can we confirm this low by the retrace? Yeah, we can. Right. So, yeah, we can right here. Right. So, fuck, you get the point. Right. So we know we have a contender for a pivot down here. Right, contender, right? Just like this, the sweep of this low confirms this as a high. Now I've got this low, all right, with a sweep here confirming that. So if this is going to go, oh shit, well, let's go to a 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, this has got a long way to go. If it's going to go. Would I buy it here? No, that's a little bit better, right? If you're chomping at the bit to buy on the anticipation that the Bitcoin ETF news is going to lead to just a straight up rally, careful about that. Why do I say that? Everybody on the planet thinks that, right? When everybody's on one side of the boat, right? Careful, get wet. But if you took it there, see, I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't trade that without a stop. Right? If I'm trading off of this, is that a great impulse to trade off of? It's not great. I mean, I'm down to a 30-minute, which I don't like to do. But if I got something, if this, okay, we come back down here, okay, right, I could do it with, I know that that's a technical pivot, right? I know an algo did that. So if it breaks, where's the algo going to fire next? So this would be well, fuck, you know, it could be 3. You don't know what we're going to get here, but you get something a deeper correction here. Look at all this consolidation here. You can see that. So don't just assume, oh, 3's in, off we go to the moon, right? Be careful, right? Always, preservation of capital should be the first thought in your mind. Oh, if I take that, well, where could I get hurt? No, we can't, unless you're just like, okay, it's coming, and you want to go in here and you're only thinking about the next 3 to 5 years. I don't want to keep you out of that. Right, have at it, right? You had a little opportunity right there. And all you're doing, right, is just coming back into all this consolidation. Pump, retrace, right to it, right? I mean, just as technical as it can be. Does that look good enough? Well, you know, the other thought is you let this thing play out here. Now, okay, we're over 50. So if you're itching, not a bad place right there. I wouldn't mind just seeing a little bit of a retrace there. Come back with 45. That's what I think. Okay, guys, I got to wrap it. Holy shit. How did I do? Oh, I didn't. That's not bad. That's not too bad. Only 10 minutes over. I'll be sad if that's what we get, or if that's the retrace, but it may be. Okay. Is it possible the trading range WXYXZ and we are in Z to 43K? Chaotic speculator. Oh, good handle. Chaotic speculator. So this would be, how would we do that? WXYXZ. How would we do that? Chaotic speculator. This would have to be... Well, this is a little bit of a problem here. So because that's just a, oh, fuck, I guess you could do ABC there. W, X, Y. You'd have to turn this into an ABC. That's I mean, it could be, right? It could be. It's a little bit of like, okay, you know, you could take a flyer on that. I'm not sure how you'd get there, though. W. Fuck. You'd have to do it here. X, Y, X, Z. You want 43? I can't say I love that. Right? It might be, right? Bitcoin's notorious for this, right? What the only things I can say with certainty here is I have consolidation, I have expansion. I have consolidation, I have expansion. The Elliott count, okay, right? That's, it's a snapshot, right? Could be it. This certainly has all the characteristics of a 4. Now, what do we get here? I might nibble, right? So there's nothing wrong with taking a little nibble here, right? As long as you can afford, right? If you get stopped out, I wouldn't, cry about it, right? Oh, okay, I took a little swing at it here. Oh, coming down here. Okay, all right. Well, let's reevaluate here. This is going to be bottom line. This is just a dangerous place to be trading, right? If you're going to try and trade it tightly with the stops within the, call it 40 to 48. I mean, those are big stops. Right, so leverage, maybe not, right? Because you don't want to get wicked out here. Think about it, right? You're going to get wicked out here. Something. Oh, there's another delay, and the market sells off here. You get wicked out of your position, and then the ETF flies. Again, everybody knows it's coming. Everybody. So, trade defensively. I guess my motto. Okay. All right, guys, I got to wrap it there. Thanks to all of you guys that hang out with me here. I appreciate it. I always hope you get something out of it. I hope the process of the sausage making just gives you a sense of procedure of like, okay, how do I approach a blank chart? How do I make sense of it, right? And where can I find that slightest of little edge? Where can I get the little edge? That's all we get. That's all you can hope for, right? The tiny little edge. Okay, guys, that's all I got. I'm back on Friday. Oh, shit, I don't know what I'm going to do on Friday, but we'll come up with something. You guys have a good one. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll